I was driving to work on a Saturday morning down the interstate. I was in the middle lane, and I glanced in my side mirror and noticed a car catching me quickly. I looked over as it passed me, and in the back of this coupe was a lady banging on the window screaming for help. I sped up to them, and she noticed me and started screaming again. I got behind them and followed them, and could see him reaching back and hitting her. I called 911, and as I was, he sped off. As I was talking to dispatch, I caught up and he noticed me and realized I was following him. He moved over in front of me and came to a complete stop. At that point, I didn't know if he had a gun or anything. I went around him and exited. Once he went past the overpass, I got back on and followed him, but he eventually lost me as I couldn't keep up. Fortunately, I was on with 911 the entire time, and they had cops ready to pull them over. Come to find out, it was his ex, and he abducted her and was taking her who knows where. I followed them for around 30 miles, weaving in and out of traffic and going 100 miles per hour at times to keep up. Definitely creepy, thinking of what he was maybe preparing to do to her. My aunts and I were on a road trip to visit my grandparents. We were driving almost 3,000 miles to the Northwest Territories, Canada, from Portland, Oregon. Most of the drive is long, lonely highways. I decided it would be a good idea to bring along an unsolved mysteries book to pass the time, because reading about murder is always good road trip fun. We stop at a campground and just sleep in the van. I was sleeping in the front passenger seat. And as I was sleeping, I thought I heard footsteps close to the van, but didn't see anything. When I woke up the next morning, I glanced out the window, and there was a full face print on the window, like someone had been watching us during the night. Needless to say, I didn't sleep for the rest of the drive. A few years ago, while I was driving home from my night shift security job, it was about 6:20 a.m. during the summer, so it wasn't completely dark out. I was coming around a small curve in the highway, and I seen a thing. It looked like an exposed human walking on all fours in that strange butt-up posture you make while bear crawling. It was moving slow across the road with its head swaying back and forth as it crawled across the road in front of me. A day or two later, I was talking to my parents, who live about 2 miles from where I had seen that thing, and told them about it. They told me some years before, 2 of their friends were walking in that area, and both came running to their house scared to death, and would never tell anyone what had happened or what they had seen. Later, while telling scary stories with my friends, I told them of the thing I had seen that night. One of my friends, who was a cop, said about 8 years ago, a man was ran over at that curve, and everyone in the community thought he was a skinwalker. It doesn't scare me. I still drive that same road all the time, day and night. But I still look for it every time I drive by that curve.